but especially African Americans, because our people fought so long and hard for this right that it would be ignorant of us not to utilize it. Our ancestors, our great-grandparents, their great-grandparents dreamed of being able to vote. And now we have this luxury, and not using it is just almost like a disgrace to the people who broke their backs protesting, fighting to vote, fighting to let their voice be heard in a country that is not listening to us. Not listening to us, like the president focusing on someone kneeling and not focusing on why this person is kneeling, and then slandering a company for using said person kneeling, which was Colin Kaepernick, and still not recognizing why people are kneeling in the first place. This is what I mean when I say that this is a country that is not listening to African Americans, that is not listening to our cries for help when we're killed by the police, when we're unfairly tried in courts, when we're incarcerated for crimes that we didn't commit. All these things and all these injustices towards us should make us want to vote more, should make us want to be in office more, should make us want to be more lawyers and more prosecutors, and make us want to go to the Supreme Court and all this, while still utilizing amazing jobs like football players and athletes and models and celebrities. We just need to see more African Americans in the political world. When you look at the White House right now, how many senior White House executives are there? None. Omarosa was the last one. She's gone. There's none. When you think of black people who have had an outspoken say in politics in the last 8 years, you think of former President Barack Obama and his amazing family. And then B, you think of Ben Carson. And that's it. And it's sad that I can only name 3 black people who have had an outspoken and undeniable, who have left their footprint on the White House. Why only 3 people when African Americans make up more than 3% of the United States? We are a large group in this country. Why is it that we are not being represented? Why is it that more laws condemning brutality against us, why aren't there any? Again, with all this being said, we need to change the face of the political world, and we need to change the face of the United States. And it starts with my generation. We have all our tool belt is filled with tools to use to be able to change the world politically, economically, socially. We could do it, but it all starts with one simple thing: voting.
The right to vote, and that's the most important thing in reference to whatever we might be able to do, Alana. And let me, Alana, say that we've been very, very impressed by the way that, excuse me, you are able to handle this information. But now, what about people in the 11th grade at your school, in the 12th grade, and et cetera? Are they as conscious, both black and white and whatever else, color, whatever race, are they as conscious of the importance of the suffrage as perhaps you are indicating that you might be at this particular point? And do you think that even though they might not be able to go out themselves and cast a vote, you don't have to be of age in order to persist and help in any kind of political campaign? Do you find that being something that is knowledgeable among most of them, being involved in phone banks and other kinds of things that they might be able to help in terms of the political process?
To answer the beginning of your question, when you ask, do I think that they're conscious of how big of a deal this is? No, I don't. I do not think that the average junior or senior in high school or even freshman in college is aware of just how important all of this is, politics and all that. I don't think that that's something that the average person really grips until maybe the end of high school, towards the beginning of college, where you're exposed to a bigger group of people and they'll probably prompt you to vote. I think that I am at a very, very good place knowledge-wise because of the fact that I have parents who have worked with politics and who understand this, shout out to you, and who have encouraged me to always utilize the rights that my ancestors fought for. To answer the second part of your question, no, juniors and seniors, unless you're 18, cannot vote, but the smallest thing that you could do that could change the face of the political world before you're even 18 years, encourage your family members to vote. I'm sure we all know at least one person who has said that their vote doesn't count, or they're not gonna vote, or they don't feel like voting, or they don't have a ride to go vote. We could change little things like that, and it would make a world of difference. It would make the largest impact. Simply filling up your 4-seater with 3 people who can vote, even if you're under 18, that's 3 more votes. Filling it up with 3 African Americans who didn't have a way to vote or didn't plan on voting, that's putting us further into the political world. And that's what the Black Panther Party fought for. They wanted to see more African Americans in office because, again, there are not many black people in the White House. There's not many black people in American politics. There's been 1 African American president out of almost 50, only 1. And you have to stop and ask yourself, it's not that black people are less educated. It's not that there's no black people in the country. It's not like there's not a million educated, smart, strong, cunning black people to choose from. It's the fact that this stereotype that black people can't or black people won't has been embedded in the minds of so many white Americans. And though in 2018, we're in a place where a lot of people don't realize that, we still need to change this stereotype.
Okay, Alana, let me thank you over the last half minute dealing with this, because what we attempted to try to do was to bring all of that information out. And I think that in a real sense, you laid down a good foundation for any young person your age or above who might hear this particular show to understand the importance of the suffrage. And I think that that was my intention today. And let me thank you for helping to bring that about. And let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.